So then guys, I for one am super excited for next year with the iPhone, because this is when we're going to get the iPhone Fold, Apple's first foldable iPhone. And today I want to go over 7 big leaks that we've heard about for this next generation of the iPhone, and also I want to tell you more details about the release date and price too. So without further ado, let's get started with number 1, and that is all to do with the outer display screen size. So the outer screen display is the phone when it's actually folded together. So this is actually, I'd say, probably the screen that a lot of people use probably the most on the foldable phone. So this one is looking likely it's going to be coming out at 5.5 inches big. Now 5.5 inches, if you're a tiny little bit retro, if I'm going to say you're starting to fall into that equation now, if you ever had, say, the likes of, say, an iPhone 8 or even, say, an iPhone 7, 6S or a 6, and then had the Plus model, that was the screen size inside of that phone. Obviously that wasn't without the bezels and the home button and things like that. It was actually literally the screen, and it looks like Apple wants to bring back this 5.5 inch display. But what I would be saying, it probably wouldn't be as square, it'd be probably a little bit more rectangular in its kind of shape, what we're going to get from Apple there. So yeah, that is probably the first big leak that we've actually heard about, that the outer display is going to be 5.5 inches. But moving on to the second big leak, and this is the inner display. This is when that iPhone Fold is actually opened up. What size screen are we going to get there? Well, we've been told for this it's going to be 7.8 inches. So this is definitely a good size screen that we're going to get. Now again, what I'm going to say is, if you had, say, the old school iPad mini, the one what had, say, the home button, the circular one with Touch ID there, well, that one was actually a 7.9 inch display. This is 7.8 inch display, so it's slightly smaller by a smudge than that old iPad mini, smaller than the current iPad mini right now, because obviously that is 8.3 inches big, so it's smaller than that one. But you get the idea. We're getting kind of a rough idea what the size of this screen is going to be. And then for the third big leak, and this is probably the leak that people are most concerned about, and this is all to do with the crease. Well, we've been told we're going to be getting a liquid metal hinge this time round, and this liquid metal hinge supposedly has eliminated having a crease in an iPhone. This is why we haven't had a foldable iPhone for so long. This is why it's not existed. You know, lots of people out there have been going, you know, the whole thing about, you know, Apple, they're late to the party. Well, this is the point, because Apple, at the end of the day, what they want to do is they want to perfect their iPhone absolutely perfect. And this liquid hinge, this liquid metal hinge, is the solution out there. And supposedly this is going to eliminate having really a crease, and also that feeling as well when you put your finger over where the crease is, that you shouldn't really feel it there too. So this is why it's taken so long for Apple to actually bring out a foldable iPhone. But then for the fourth leak we've heard about, again, some of you have been really worried about this. What about battery life? Because obviously if it's a foldable phone, does that mean smaller batteries? Well, it does. But the good news is, what we've been hearing is that the batteries are going to be very similar to like we got with the iPad Air. These are high density batteries. And for example, right now, the Oppo N5 uses one of these. And this is the, Oppo's, foldable kind of best flagship phone out there. And it does give really good battery life, even though the phone is super thin. It looks like this is something else that Apple are going to introduce into their phone range. And especially they're going to put this into this iPhone Fold. And then for the fifth leak, another question that you guys have been wanting to know is, what about Face ID, especially when you've actually got the phone open? Well, we've been told that Touch ID is returning back to the iPhone. We're going to get a Touch ID button very similar to like what we have on the iPad Air, and also the iPad mini. This will be on the power button. So this actual button with Touch ID, this will be able to do all your verifications and things like this. So instead of Face ID, this is how it will be actually working. So this does mean then we'll actually get a full screen, in the inside of the phone and on the outside of the phone too, without having, say, any Face ID kind of sensors getting in the way with a dynamic island. So this is great news to hear. And then finally, for the sixth upgrade that we've heard about, well, this is actually how the iPhone is going to be made. We've been hearing that the new iPhone Fold is actually going to be made out of titanium this time round. And this does make sense because obviously the phone is so thin, and obviously Apple wants to keep it nice and light, and also it's quite big too. So this is what it's going to be made out of. It's going to be a titanium finish on this actual iPhone Fold. Something else to also get excited about is the giveaway, what is happening on this channel, and in fact it's happening super soon. It is for this MacBook Air M4 that you can see right here, and you can still enter in right now. And what I am also going to say is that if you have missed out on the giveaway, or the giveaway's happened by the time this video is out there and you're watching it, don't worry. Go and check out the video, it's in the description, because it will tell you also about the new giveaway that I've done on my channel. And if not, if you're watching it still before the giveaway is happening, it will give you more details about the actual giveaway for this MacBook Air. I'll swap it around there for you. But all you have to do to enter into either of these giveaways is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. Maybe it is going to be a new foldable phone out there. Maybe it's going to be an iPhone 17 model. Maybe it's going to be a MacBook Air. Maybe it's got nothing to do with Apple whatsoever. Just put it down into the comments below right now. Now, the other thing what you need to do is, like I said, is check out that video below if the giveaway is happening right now, because obviously, you know, that will give you even more details about what's going to happen and how we're actually going to do the giveaway. So definitely check that out, because there's a form to fill in, things like that. All the details are in that video. Now, the other thing I want to quickly say about this MacBook Air, it's been upgraded a bit. It's got the M4 inside of it, but it is a 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU. It's also got 24 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage. And like I said, one lucky person is going to get their hands on this. And all you have to do, like I said, is just follow those instructions and also be a subscriber too, because at the end of the day, I'm giving this away to a subscriber. The last thing I want to quickly say to you guys is that sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, sending to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people, best you see right here. Please do report them. So what about the release date and price? Well, the great news I've got for you guys is we've had this recent leak in right here telling us from Ming Chi Kuo that the new iPhone Fold is actually going to start its production at the end of this year, 2025, ready for 2026. Now, more than likely, when we're going to see this new iPhone Fold announced, it's going to be around the same time where we get the likes of, say, the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max. It seems quite crazy because we've not even got the 17 Pro or the 17 Pro Max at this stage, but it'll be around that time. So we're talking kind of early, mid-September sort of time, the announcement, and kind of mid to end September time is when we'll be able to get our hands on this iPhone Fold for the first time. But then for price-wise, what we've also been told is that the price is going to be kind of about $1,700 to $2,000 for the baseline model. And at the end of the day, the likes of, say, the Galaxy Fold range, that Oppo phone I told you about earlier, the N5 Fine, and multiple other ones, they all start around that kind of same sort of price range. And this is something what Apple are looking to do as well. They're looking to actually make this new iPhone Fold around about that kind of same sort of price. So it is going to cost you probably about $600 at least more than what you get for a normal iPhone, say 17 Pro Max or 18 Pro Max by then. So just be aware of that. But with that then, guys, that is the latest and greatest we've heard on the iPhone Fold. Are you excited about it? Are you going to be getting one? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.